Hey there guys, what's going on? And I'm back at you with another really fast motion tutorial. And in this tutorial we're going to learn how to make an oscilloscope or make a waveform bounce to the music. So the first thing we need to do is go into your Soundtrack Pro library and find you a beat that you like, a riff. What I'm using is, I went to my library, Audio, Apple Loops, Apple Loops and Soundtrack Pro, Power Effects Loops, Guitar Riffs, Electric Guitar, Riffs and Melodies. If you go all the way over, you'll find all your funky electric guitar riffs. I'm going to use Rock Electric Guitar Riff number 2. Okay, it's about 7 seconds long. There's no magic piece of music for this. You can use whatever you want, but if you want to follow along with me and use the exact same sound that I'm using the Rock Electric Guitar Riff 02. Okay, so let's get started. You can see we can bring up our project. We have a blank project. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to set my project length. As you can see right now, it's 10 seconds long and our riff is 7 seconds long. So let's go ahead and set our time here. I'm going to click down here in the bottom right on our time. If you're seeing just frames, click this little clock icon and it'll go to time. Okay? I'm going to replace this 10 with 07. So we'll have a 7-second timeline there. Okay? There we go. And if you don't want to put in 7 seconds, you can always just put in 420 frames. Okay? So now that we have our length of our project set up, and actually, as you'll notice, since it was just a 7-second song and we had a 10-second project, I didn't necessarily have to adjust the project length for this demonstration, but it's best to get in the habit to adjust the length of your project before you start. That's why that's one of the only reasons I'm doing that, to get you all in that habit. Okay? So now that we've got our music picked out, we've got the length of our project set up, the first thing we need to do is draw a little circle on the screen. Okay? And to activate your circle tool, of course, you can go up here to your shapes and create a circle. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the C key. That will bring up my circle tool. Okay? I'm going to hold the Option and the Shift key, and when I do this, it's going to make me draw a perfect circle. So I'm going to hold Option and Shift, I'm going to drag, and as you can see, boom, I got just a little bitty circle right there. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and go into our inspector. Let's go to our shape. Our style, under our shape tab, we'll have a style tab. Go down to your feather and let's make the feather about 10. And as you can see, that will feather out our circle just a little bit there, okay? Okay, so we're already halfway there. Now the next thing we need to do is turn this little circle we made into an emitter. And of course, we can do that by selecting it and going up to Create Emitter, or Replicate, or Make Particle, I'm sorry. But what we're going to do is, instead of hitting the Make Particle button, I'm going to hit the E key, okay? So let's go ahead and hit the E key after we have our little circle selected, which it is here. You can see it's selected in our group over here in our Layers tab. So let's go ahead and hit the E, and boom. That will turn that into that little circle. As you can see right here, it turned it into an emitter. And that's why you hit the E key. We'll turn it into an emitter, E for emitter. Or, like I said, you can go up here and say Make Particles. And if you hit the Make Particles button, it does the same thing as Make a Particle Emitter. So, hitting the E key to change it to an emitter, or going up here and hitting the Make Particles button, does the same thing. So now that we've went ahead and hit our E key, or we've clicked the Make Particles button on the toolbar, we're going to set our emission range. Okay? So come over here, in your emitter tab. After your emitter is selected, you'll see emission range. This is the degree or angle that your particle is going to emit. Right now it's on 360, which means it's going to emit all the way around this little circle in 360 degrees. We're going to make that 0, so it'll be like a flat line. Okay? Now we've made that 0. Now the next thing we're going to do is going to go to our birth rate. Okay? Now the birth rate you can fool with. I'm going to make it 500. I'm not sure if that'll be quite enough to make it solid, because the way these emitters work is it just emits little dots. It will emit little circles, the little circle that we have there, and we're trying to get them to emit fast enough to where it looks like a solid line. Okay? So the birth rate of 500 will probably do it. We might have to up it a little bit, but we will see about that, okay? Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and adjust our life. Let's make our life, you can make it short or long, it's up to you. I'm going to make our life 4, and we will go back and adjust that and make it longer after we have our project completed, okay? So we've got our life set to 4. Let's set our speed to 150, okay? So here's our speed. We'll set it to 150. All right. Now we're going to change the color. So let's go to our color mode and select colorize. Okay. Let's change it to that cool matrix green. Now let's turn down our opacity bar here, and let's click on the far right and add a tag. And as you can see, when you click on these tags, it highlights them. Let's highlight the one we just created and turn our opacity all the way down to 0. Now your little opacity bar should look something like this, okay? Now we need to adjust the scale, and we're going to adjust the scale. You can see how our circle now is a little bit bigger than it was when we first created our little circle, because due to feathering and the emitter and all that good stuff, it's made it bigger. So let's go to our scale and scale it down here to where it's just about the same size as it was when we first created it. About like that right there, okay? Now let's move our emitter to the left side of the screen. Okay? There we go. So we're not quite done yet. We're going to go to our Properties tab. Under the Position, turn down your Position Disclosure Triangle, and right-click on the Y. Okay, now when you get your little menu, select Audio. This is where we're going to tie our audio in with our little particle emitter there. Now, let's click on our Audio Disclosure Triangle. If you haven't already, it will be closed up like that if you haven't. And let's go ahead and grab our music and drag it into this source well. Now we can do it several ways. We can open up our project timing down here. We can grab our audio by turning on this little speaker so we can see our audio. And as you can see, we don't have any audio in our project right now. So what we need to do is go to your audio tab. I'm going to go to the rock guitar riff. I'm going to drag and drop it right into that right there. Boom. And there's our audio. Now it shows up down here in our timeline. Okay. So now let's go back to our Layers tab. And let's select our audio behavior. And let's go to our behavior. And you'll see we have this empty source well now. Now we can come down here and drag our audio from down here in the project or in the timing tab. Drag it from down here up here. Now remember, you won't be able to see your audio if you don't put this little speaker on here so you can see it, okay? So you can take this and drag this up, or you can go to your audio tab and grab it here and drag it straight over, okay? It's up to you. So I'm just going to drag this because it's what I'm used to. I'm going to drag it straight up in there like that, and that ties our audio to our emitter. But we're not quite done. Let's go ahead and adjust it a little bit, which isn't going to take much. Let's just adjust our smoothness and our scale. So our smoothness, let's find our smoothness. Let's make it 2, okay? And let's go on down and make our scale 300. Okay, now we got one more step to do. Let's close everything down. Let's take our audio playhead here to about the middle of the project. Okay, like so. And let's go ahead and pull our emitter back down to the middle here, like so. And now when I play this back, it should go to the music. And it works really, really well. Now you can see here, we may have to make a few adjustments if we want to do that. So let's go back to our Layers tab. Let's select our emitter. Let's go to our emitter tab. And as you can see, our birth rate's 500. Let's make that 800. Like so. And let's make our life 7 to make it string out across the screen a little bit more. Now let's go back and play this. Now as you can see, it's going to get a lot longer. If we change our life to say 9, it'll be even longer still. Okay, so let's play this back. Now as you can see, now that we've upped our birth rate, we're not getting them little dabs. Here it looks like a solid line, okay? Now you can use absolutely any audio that you feel the need to use. And as you notice, we set our opacity. It does start to fade out on the end. Let's go ahead back here, go to our emitter. Let's turn our life down. So it won't be quite as long. And now you can see that the opacity we set, things are starting to fade out. And there you go. That's how you make a simple audio oscilloscope. Thanks for watching, guys.